Are you drowning in scraps? Can't bear to throw things away? Well, in this series, I'm sharing ideas to help you use your stash to create journals, ephemera, cards, and more. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me. All right, today we're going to be scrap busting gel prints. Now, anybody who's a gel printer will know it's great, it's addictive, before you know it, you have a huge box of gel prints. And what do you do with them? Well, there's lots of ideas out there, but today, what I have actually done, what I did yesterday, was went through my box of gel prints and I sorted them into three main piles. So I've got a pile here, which is all small scraps. I have a pile here, which is could be interesting but needs some more work, and I'll link a video below that I did probably back last year to show you what to do with prints like these to make them more usable. But so that's my other pile, and then I have a pile of, hey, these are good and they need to be used pieces. And what I've done with these is to sort them roughly into colours. So here you'll see this is sort of greens and reds, more reds, and then we go into the more orangey yellows, and we've got some purples. So they're roughly in stacks of colour. And today I'm going to be using this pile and also maybe some of my little scraps. We'll see how much time we've got. I think when I'm scrap busting with all these, then we may come out with a few videos because it might be too long for one day. But yeah, so today I'm going to be mainly concentrating on these. Look, these are great and we need to use them. We need to be showing them off to people. So for now, I'm going to put those that need some more work and my tiny scraps away. Or I'll leave my tiny scraps where I can reach them. Those away. And these are the ones we're going to be mainly working on. And let me show you something else. I've also been through my stash today of cards, card bases. And as you can see, I found some quite interesting things. And what you'll notice is a lot of these have clearance stickers on, or they've been bought in charity shops, or they're odds and ends. So these are all ready-made cards. Now, some of them have got envelopes with them, some haven't. That's okay because I can make envelopes. Some of them are small. These are some really dinky little, look at these. They're probably roughly, I would say, about almost 3 inches. Yeah, 3 by 3 those. And then I've got some smaller again, which are great little gift tag size. And look, what are we in? The last week in September. So, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit more organised this year. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? I am going to be busting some of these and busting some of my gel prints, and I'm going to show you how to turn them into some pretty easy gift cards and things, Christmas cards, and things like that. And whilst I'm focusing on Christmas cards today, you can use these same ideas for any kind of cards that you want to make. So birthday cards, thank you cards, just general, you know, notelets, whatever. All right, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, the other thing I have done is that I've gone through some of my gel print scraps and also some scraps from my drawers. And I've used a poinsettia die. Now, this is the die that I've actually used. It's a Spellbinder Shapeability and it's called Nested Poinsettias. I don't know whether you can still get this one. I have had this for absolutely years. And I love it because although it's sold as a poinsettia, you can actually use this to make flowers in any colour. And as you'll see, there's 3 dies there, differing sizes. I've used the 2 smallest ones, and I've run it through my cuttle bag and cut out a whole load of those 2 smaller shapes. Now, the reason I've done that, and again, if you're not doing Christmas cards, or even if you are, you can do this with any die cut that you have. I'm just putting that away so that I don't lose it. You know, you could use hearts, stars, reindeer, whatever you have. So, but here in New Zealand, a lot of the traditional Christmas symbols like snowmen and you know, things, snowflakes, things like that, they don't really make sense for us because we have Christmas in the summer. So for me, I like the poinsettia. They grow here. In fact, in some parts of New Zealand, we can grow them outside. And so for me, I love them. They're a great Christmas symbol. So I've cut some of those out, and I've cut some from scraps of red card. Okay, so let's start with our first card. And I've got a card blank here. It's what we call a DL size. So it is 10, it'll be 10 centimeters by 21, which is just slightly under 4 inches by 8 1/4. And this is what fits into like a business size envelope. Now, as I say, these are the card blanks I got. There was 10 of them. They were $2. It's cheaper than buying cardboard and making your own card blanks. So if I happen to see them on offer, I do tend to grab them. But of course, what that means is that, you know, I end up with a few and don't always use them. So today is about using things. I think, yeah, this is the, oh, hang on, I have something else here. I was going to say this is the scrap that I have and I'm going to use it, but actually that one's going to work really well. So as you'll see, this is a gel print. I've obviously used some of it for something else. I'm going to grab my trimmer. I'm going to trim this off. Now, as I say, you can adapt these techniques to whatever size cards you have or that you want to make. You can, you know, and adapt it for any occasion. Right, let me just, I'm just straightening that up. I didn't think that looked straight. That's better. Okay. So that's the piece I've got. Happens to be quite a nice fit. So I'm just looking and I still don't think that end is straight. Okay, I've straightened up the end. Before I stick this piece down, I'm just going to whip round. I've got a little red ink pad. I'm just going to whip round the edges just so that I don't see that white edge. Yeah, you don't have to do this. It's just an extra step I like to do. Okay. Now, I'm testing out a new brand of glue stick today. Now, these were fairly cheap in one of our local dollar stores, so I'm just going to see how it goes. I wasn't able to get either of the makes I normally use when I was in town the other day. Ooh, which way up? Actually, I think it looks better. No, we'll go that way. Now the other thing I've done is to pull out some of my Christmas washi tape. And I've got a couple here which have poinsettias on. I'm just going to put a bit more glue on that corner. This one. So, is anyone else starting to prepare for Christmas? If so, what are you doing? Let me know. Show me some pictures. I know it feels early still, but oh gosh, look. Mr. Jem and I run tourist accommodation. And obviously we're coming into the better weather here in New Zealand. And it's the time of year that we start getting really busy, and so I try and start to be fairly organised when it comes to Christmas, because we're a family who do make things rather than buy. And so yeah, it's sometimes quite difficult when we're really busy with our business to be making nice things for people too. So I do try to start early. I was watching a video the other day. Now I'm thinking, Annie from My Creative Detour, and I'll try and remember to tag her channel below. And she has a great idea, and it's like I think it's the 25th of every month she makes something Christmassy. And I think she does it with her mum. But I thought, what an awesome idea. And next year I might well try that, and that obviously means that you're not doing everything all at once at the end. Now my glue has just taken some of the ink onto the edge there, so I'm going to use a rubber and get rid of that. There we go. Now I'm going to bring my tray of poinsettias over, and I think this background's quite busy, so I think I might stick to a plain one. And I love to layer these, and you can imagine if you're using different colours, you know, you can cut things out, you can cut flower shapes out from any paper. Right, on this slightly lighter card I like to just touch the ends of the leaves. Just gives it a little bit of something. There we go. It doesn't show on the darker ones, so I don't bother. All right, what that is. Let me find a brad. Oh, there they are. Thought I'd left them out. You've got these quite cool domed brads. You'll see if I hold these up, you can see the difference. One's domed and one's really flat. And I wasn't sure about these domed ones, but actually they look quite nice for this kind of thing. Now what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to put a hole in the middle of each, a small hole in the middle of each flower part. And my hole maker is quite noisy, so I'll do that and come back. Okay, there we are. They've all got holes in them now, and I'm just going to stack them up. The other thing you can do is to just curl those leaves up a little bit, just to give it a bit more dimension. I think there is a special tool for this. I just use my nail. Okay, so as you can see, I've just threaded those onto my brad. And then you can just turn them so that the petals are alternating and you get to see all of them. Now if you want to, you can just pop a little bit of glue. You know, I could use my, this is a bit like art glitter glue, and just pop a little bit in there in between each layer to stop them moving. But you don't have to. There we go. Now, this is probably not an absolutely necessary step, but I like to take a little bit of, what do you call it? Painter's tape, masking tape, and just stick over the back of that brad. And then, actually it looks quite good with that circle behind it, doesn't it, on this one? There we go, and all we need now is a little sentiment. Let's have a look to see what I've got. Okay, so I've had a bit of a hunt round, and these are some bits and pieces that were obviously left over from last year. I've got a few sentiments that have been salvaged off Christmas cards. That could be, actually that could be cut in half. I've got a sticker here. And I've got a couple of tags and things that I obviously didn't get round to using last year. These are made on my Cricut machine. So let's see what we've got that suits. That could be quite nice. You know, these, and when I saw this, I thought, oh, that's interesting. And I had a rummage in my box. Do you know, talking about using things up and scrap busting, these peel-offs, they used to be very trendy kind of a few years ago, and I used to make a lot of cards, and I've still got a few of these, and I've been looking at different ways of using them, and obviously I'd used some last year to make these little tags, and you know, I don't dislike them. Peel-offs seem to have gone out of fashion, but you know, I'm thinking I could mount that on a piece of nice gold card, and that would actually look quite nice. So let's give that a go and we'll see what happens. Let's pull this. Oh, I found a couple of a red tag and another piece of card. Let's put some glue on this, see what we can achieve with what we have, as this is all about using up our scraps and leftovers. let's not let's get rid of that glue from around the edge there, because it shows up really well on the gold card. Alright, it looks like I rounded the corners on that one last year. There we go, there's a corner rounder. Not quite straight, is it? But you know what, I don't dislike that. And you know what, I think that's going to look fine there. So, do we want a foam pad? No, I don't think we do. Let's just pop a bit of glue. Now, one of the other reasons I have to get going early with some of my Christmas cards and things is that a lot of my cards go overseas. They're heading off to the UK, or they're heading off to Canada, and I have to get them posted reasonably early. So there we go, there's our first card using up gel print scraps. Now the other thing I want to show you is, you know, there's infinite number of ways you can use your gel print scraps to do things like that. But one of the other things I wanted to show you was, these are those little, I don't even know where I got these, but they're obviously the right size. Oh goodness, everything's falling down. These are the right size for little gift tags, and I'm just carefully punching a hole in there. So that's on the back. And do you know, I think some of these would layer up and look great on this card. And as you can see, these are all just gel print offcuts. And I've also got here, I've used my hole punch, the same hole punch, and I've punched out some little gold circles which form quite a nice centre if you're not using a brad. So look at that. All right, let's glue that together. I'm quite liking that. And these, as I say, some of these were cut from the small scraps that I've had left. Some of them were from some of those pages that were sort of those, that's a bit thicker actually, I'm just going to put a bit of different glue. Some of them were the pages that I'd got in the need more work pile, but I was looking for the red and the green for this purpose. Oh, bit of wiggle room there. There we go. And you know, look how quick was that. Because you can sit and cut these out, you know, whilst you're watching TV. And I mean, if you've not got a die cut, draw yourself a simple template like that, or print one off from the internet, use it as a template, sit and watch TV and cut yourself out a whole load of flowers from your gel plate. I've got a little scrap of sort of jute twine here. So as I say, I'm scrap busting today off my desk. And voila, you have a little gift tag, or it could be a mini card depending on what you want. You could ink the edges. I don't know whether this, oh hang on, I've got a darker red, let me just find it. Would have been easier, of course, before I stuck. Oh, that's coming off. Hang on. Now, I wonder if that didn't put enough glue, and that's quite a shiny. Maybe I just forgot to glue. I don't know. In my excitement. There you go. Oh, look at this. All right, I know that's messy. You're going to get your fingers inky. But look, you've got a nice little bit of red colour on your string as well. Right, I'm going to go and wipe my fingers. I'll be back. So there's those two, quite easily achieved. I'm going to do one more and just sort of put the video on, let you have put some music on, and you can watch along, and I'll make something slightly different just to give you another idea. But, you know, really simple way of scrap busting with your gel prints. Well, everyone, I've had one of those days today, and I seem to have lost the last bit of my video. I have had constant interruptions today and not really got as much done as I hoped. But look, I'm going to show you what I have done, and hopefully you can see that there's many ways that you can use up those scraps and those small pieces of those beautiful gel prints that you've made to make some cards and gift tags. And as I've said before, they can be for any occasion that you like. So have a look at what I've done, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. But for now, thank you for watching. Ka kite anō.